Money isn't earned, it's aligned.
What's up, people? I hope I find you well wherever you are today, and welcome to the Ultimate Millionaire Mindset Podcast. Today, I'm going to tell you something that most of you will never understand, and that's precisely why most people will never become millionaires. You've all been taught your whole life that time is money. But here's the real problem. Everyone has the same 24 hours in a day. Bill Gates has 24 hours. Elon Musk has 24 hours. You have 24 hours. So if time is truly money, why don't we all have the same wealth? The answer isn't time. The answer is attention. Attention is the real currency. Not time, not money, not connections. Attention. Because attention is what decides what you can learn. Attention is what decides what you can create. Attention is what decides what opportunities you can actually see and seize. In a world of infinite information and infinite distractions, attention is now the scarcest resource on the planet. And the people who understand this, the people who protect their attention like billionaires protect their net worth. They are the ones building real wealth. Today, I'm going to show you the Millionaire Attention Protocol. The exact system that separates people who build genuine abundance from people who are, forever stuck in hustle cycle. And it's not complicated. It's actually simpler than you think. But it requires a shift in how you see yourself. Let's begin. Now, let's get into the protocol. What I'm about to share with you will change how you see your attention forever. So first, let's define what we are actually talking about. Attention isn't just focus. Think about it this way. If you can't attend to something, you literally cannot process it. You cannot learn it. You cannot understand it. You cannot act on it. Here's what's mind-blowing. Your brain receives approximately 11 million bits of information per second. But your conscious mind can only process about 40 to 50 bits per second. And that means your brain is filtering out 99% of the information available to you at any given moment. So what determines which information gets through that filter? Your attention. Where you place your attention literally shapes what reality you experience. This is why people who can read the exact same book can get completely different insights. Two people can attend the same seminar and walk away with different lessons. Two people can look at the same opportunity and one sees a gold mine while the other sees risk. The difference isn't intelligence. The difference is where your attention was placed. Now, here's what's critical. Your attention is not unlimited. It's a finite resource. It depletes. It fatigues. It can be stolen. Yes. And in 2025, there are more entities competing for your attention than ever before in human history. Your phone, social media algorithms designed by Stanford behavioral scientists, notifications, emails, news feeds, messages, video recommendations, ads, every single one of these engineered to hijack your attention. So when you say I don't have time, what you really mean is my attention is fragmented across so many competing priorities that I can't focus long enough to build anything of real value. That's the real crisis. Not time, attention. And this is exactly why wealth is becoming more concentrated at the top, because people at the top understand something that the masses don't. Attention is leverage. When you can control your attention, you can control what you learn. When you can control what you learn, you can control your decisions. And when you can control your decisions, you can control your outcomes. And when you can control your outcomes, you can control your wealth. Now let's talk about what distractions actually cost you. Because this is where most people are completely blind to their own wealth leakage. Research from the National Institute of Health shows that task switching reduces productivity by 33 to 40%. Not a little. A third to almost half of your productivity capacity gone. And here is what's even more damaging. It doesn't just cost you 33% in that moment. When you switch tasks, let's say you are working on building your business and then you check your phone, or you answer an email, or you get pulled into a meeting, your brain doesn't instantly reset. It takes 15 to 25 minutes for your brain to regain full focus and cognitive capacity after a context switch. Think about what that means. If you check your phone 5 times during your workday, you've just lost between 75 and 125 minutes of genuine productive capacity. If you are interrupted by emails or messages 10 times a day, which is the average for most professionals, you've lost between 150 and 250 minutes, and that's nearly half of your workday gone to context switching. And that's just direct interruptions. That doesn't account for ambient distractions, the knowledge that you could be interrupted, which keeps part of your brain on alert, reducing your actual cognitive depth. This is why deep work is so rare. This is why building real businesses, real art, real wealth is so difficult. Most people are operating at 40 to 50% of their actual cognitive capacity because their attention is fractured. Now multiply that across weeks, months, years. So if you are operating at 50% capacity because of distraction, over 5 years, that's not a 50% reduction in output. It's exponentially worse because compounding works in reverse too. You build less, you learn less, you create less, you earn less. And the gap between you and people who have mastered their attention widens every single day. This is the hidden wealth gap. It's not that millionaires work harder. It's that they work with undivided attention. They understand that their attention is their most valuable asset. So more valuable than their time, more valuable than their money, because with focused attention, they can generate money at any time. But without attention, all the time and money in the world won't help them build anything real. This is why billionaires have insanely simple schedules. Steve Jobs wore the same thing every day, not because he was quirky, but because he was protecting his attention from decision fatigue. Elon Musk doesn't check emails constantly. He has specific blocks where he processes communications. The rest of the time, his attention is protected for deep work. These aren't accidents. These are systems designed to preserve cognitive capacity. And the beautiful thing is, you don't need to be a billionaire to implement these. You just need to understand the protocol. The Millionaire Attention Protocol has 4 phases. We call them define, deep work, batch, design. Let's start with define. Most people never do this. They just start their day and react to whatever comes. Defining is different. It means before you start your day, before you open your email, before you check your phone, you decide what gets your attention. Not what demands your attention, what deserves your attention. This is the first power move. And here is how you define. Ask yourself 3 questions. First one is, what is my primary objective today? Not 3 objectives, not 5, just 1. This is the most important thing that if you accomplish this, would make today successful. This might be launch my email campaign, finish the proposal, record 3 videos, close this sale, build this feature. 1 primary objective. The question 2, why does this matter to my wealth and my vision? This connects your daily action to your larger picture. This is the identity building. This is where attention transforms into purpose. When your daily attention is tied to your larger vision, your brain automatically prioritizes it. Your subconscious starts working on it. Opportunities appear that weren't visible before. And question 3, how long do I need to accomplish this with full focus? This is where you get honest. If your primary objective needs 4 hours of deep, uninterrupted attention, admit it. Most people pretend they can do it in 2 hours while checking messages. No, you can't. Defining means being brutally honest about what your attention actually requires. Now, here's the power of define. When you define your day, you've already separated yourself from 80% of people who just react to whatever comes their way. You are no longer playing defense, you are playing offense. You've decided where your attention goes, not your emails, not your notifications, not other people's emergencies. You have. And this creates immediate momentum because the moment your attention is aligned with your attention, your brain starts working with you instead of against you. The universe starts working with you because you have sent a signal. This matters. This is where my focus goes. And that's the signal. That signal attracts resources, people, and opportunities aligned with that focus. This is not mystical. This is neuroscience. This is psychology. This is how human focus works. So define is the first part of the protocol. Clarify your primary objective, connect it to your vision, and commit your attention to it before anything else captures it. So phase 2 is deep work. Deep work is where you actually execute your defined objectives with 0 fragmentation. This is the implementation phase. Here is the protocol. Step number 1, create a distraction-free environment. Okay? Phone off, not on silent, off, in another room if possible. Emails closed, not just notifications disabled. The entire application closed. Slack, Teams, Discord, whatever communication tool you use, closed. Notifications off. The goal here is not just to reduce interruptions, it's to remove the possibility of interruptions, which removes the ambient anxiety that keeps your brain partially alert. When your brain knows it cannot be interrupted, it relaxes into flow state much faster. Time block your deep work, Most people work in an infinite stretch and then burn out. Instead, work in defined blocks. 45 minutes to 90 minutes of pure focus is ideal for most people. Your brain can maintain deep focus in this window. After 90 minutes, you are diminishing returns. You stop, take a 15-minute break, then another block. This isn't laziness, this is neuroscience. It's working with your brain's natural rhythm, not against it. And step number 3, eliminate the decision loop. During your deep work block, you are not making new decisions about what to work on. You have already defined it. You are just executing it. No, should I do this instead? No pivoting. No checking if there is something more important. You defined it. You committed. You execute. This eliminates your cognitive overhead of constant micro decisions, which actually eats more mental energy than the work itself. And step number 4, track your depth. After each deep work block, note how deep you went. On a scale of 1 to 10, how fully present were you? This builds awareness. You start to notice patterns. Maybe you do your best deep work in the morning. Maybe you need 20 minutes to warm up. Maybe you do it better with instrumental music or silence. You are learning your own cognitive patterns. And this is what millionaires do. They don't just work hard. They work intelligently by understanding their own focus patterns and optimizing around them. So deep work is create the conditions for focus, work in blocks, eliminate decision overhead, and learn your own patterns. So phase 3 is batch. This is where most people are completely inefficient. Batch means group similar tasks together, so your attention doesn't have to context switch constantly. Here's why this matters. Every time you switch from one type of task to another, your brain has to load a completely different set of cognitive frameworks. Writing requires a different mental state than analysis. Analysis requires a different mental state than meetings. Meetings require a different mental state than creative work. So if your day looks like this, email, meetings, video edit, email, phone calls, writing, email, meeting, your brain is context switching constantly. You are never reaching deep focus because every 30 minutes you are loading a new cognitive framework. Instead, batch looks like this. You do a communication block 9 to 9:30 a.m. Answer all emails, texts, and messages. Administration block 9:30 to 10 a.m. Approvals, scheduling, logistics. Deep work 10 to 12. Your primary objective you defined earlier. Cognitive block 2 to 4 p.m. You do your strategy, your design. Meetings 4 to 5. Client calls, team calls. Notice what happens. Your attention doesn't fragment. You load one cognitive framework and stay in it for the entire block. Your brain gets into flow. Your output in a 2-hour batch created block is often better than 6 hours across the entire day. This is why professional writers often write in the morning with 0 distractions. They are not lazy in the afternoon. Their cognitive framework switches from writing and has reset. This is why programmers often code in the morning and do meetings in the afternoon, not because meetings are less important, just because context switching out of deep coding flow is expensive. Batch also protects you from decision fatigue. When you know this is my email time, you do emails. You are not thinking, should I check email or keep working on this? When you know this is my creative time, you create. You are fully committed. Batching creates psychological permission to fully commit your attention to one type of task. So batch is group similar tasks together, load one cognitive framework at a time, stay in flow, protect your attention from context switching. So the phase 4 is design. This is where attention becomes automatic. Design means build systems and environments that preserve your focus without requiring constant willpower. Because willpower is finite. It's a resource that depletes. Motivation is finite. It's not reliable. But systems are reliable. Systems work whether you are tired, stressed, or unmotivated. Here are the design elements. Design element number 1 is your physical environment. Your workspace should be optimized for the work you do. Okay? Minimize visual clutter. Eliminate visual distractions. If you work on a laptop, face away from windows or high traffic areas if possible. Your brain automatically tracks movement in your spherical vision. That's attention being hijacked subconsciously. And this isn't overthinking. This is removing ambient cognitive load. Design element number 2, digital architecture. Most people have chaotic digital lives. 47 browser tabs, notifications everywhere, cluttered desks. Each of these is a micro distraction that fragments attention. Design your digital life like you design a physical home. Everything has a space. Everything that's visible serves a purpose. Close tabs you are not using. Organize your desktop. Turn off notifications by default. This creates a psychological environment where focus is natural, not a constant struggle. Design element number 3, ritual and routine. Your brain loves patterns. Rituals create automatic focus states. Maybe your deep work ritual is close all applications, light a candle, make a tea, sit down, open one document you are working on. Every time you do this ritual, your brain says, oh, we are going into deep focus mode now, and it prepares itself. You are not relying on motivation anymore. You are using ritual to trigger focus. This is why morning routines are so powerful. They are not about the exercise or the meditation. They are about programming your brain into an intentional state before the day's distractions hit. Design element number 4 is accountability and tracking. What gets measured gets managed. Track your deep work hours. Track your focus depth. Track your output quality. When you see your data, I did 3 hours of deep work today, or my focus depth was a 7 out of 10, you are building awareness. Awareness creates behavior change. Over time, you naturally protect your attention more because you see the direct correlation between attention protection and outcomes. So design is build systems that make focus automatic, eliminate friction, create ritual, and measure your attention health. Now, here is the real secret that separates millionaires from everyone else. It's not just the protocol, it's the identity. See, most people use these tools thinking they are techniques for productivity. That's small. That's ego. The real work is identity level. You have to become the kind of person who protects attention like money. Not someone who tries to focus. Someone who is focused. Not someone who disciplines themselves to say no. Someone who naturally says no because protecting attention is part of their identity. This is where real wealth is built. Because once protecting your attention becomes part of your identity, part of your internal story of who you are, you don't have to rely on willpower anymore. A millionaire doesn't try hard to not waste money. They simply don't waste money because that's who they are. Likewise, a millionaire doesn't try hard to protect their attention. They simply do protect it because that's part of their operating system. So the last phase of your protocol isn't external, it's internal. It's the daily affirmation. I'm the kind of person who protects my attention like money. I'm intentional. I'm focused. I'm unstoppable. That's not positive thinking. That's identity programming. Every time you practice the define, deep work, batch, design protocol, you are not just getting things done. You are training your identity. You are proving to yourself, I'm someone who can focus. I'm someone who protects their attention. I'm someone who builds with that intention. And that identity becomes your foundation for everything. Because once you have that identity, scaling becomes easy. Building becomes easy. Wealth becomes easy. Because you are not fighting yourself anymore. Your internal story is aligned with your external actions. You are the millionaire of attention. And the millionaires of attention become millionaires of wealth. That's the real protocol. So here's what I want you to do right now. Don't just listen to this and move on. Choose one element of the protocol and implement it this week. Maybe it's define. Tomorrow morning, write down your one primary objective before you open your email. Maybe it's deep work. Block out 2 hours this week with 0 distractions and do the work that matters most. Maybe it's batch. Organize your next week into attention blocks instead of scattered tasks. Or maybe it's design. Redesign your workspace, your digital environment to protect focus. But do something. Because the gap between understanding and doing is where most people lose. And remember, attention is the gateway to cognition. Cognition is the gateway to wealth. The people who win are not working harder. They are working with protected, intentional attention. You can do this. You absolutely can. Subscribe to this channel. Comment below with which element of the protocol you are implementing this week and share this with someone who needs to hear it. See you in the next one. Take care of yourself.